Hello everyone. Welcome to Centurion Pod Talk, the official podcast of Centurion University of Technology and Management, Vizianagaram. I am your host, Krishna Padma Mudunuri, focusing on the current topic that is implementation of Bhagavad Gita in management. To help us explore this, we have with us Mrs. Alna Ma'am, HOD of Anesthesia and the research scholar under the guidance of our Chancellor, the Colonel Professor GSN Raju sir. Ma'am, welcome to Centurion Pod Talk.
Padma, thank you a lot. Thanks for the warm welcome. And I'm really privileged to be a part of this pod talk. And I'm happy for this topic that you have chosen, that is implementation of Bhagavad Gita in management.
Yes, ma'am, let's dive into the topic.
Sure.
Why is the Bhagavad Gita considered relevant for modern management?
As you know, Bhagavad Gita is said to be the book or a thing that is the master for management.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So Bhagavad Gita has been the master of management. So coming to what does this Bhagavad Gita do with this management? So it is the basic thing, or Bhagavad Gita itself. It tells us or teaches us how to stay calm and how to take decisions in a precise manner and how to do a work in an organized way, rather giving importance to people, rather giving importance or priority to an individual itself.
Yes, ma'am.
So it keeps you self-centered. It tells you as to how subtle and calm you have to be. That is a key thing that has to be followed in management system.
Yes, ma'am. It was very clear, ma'am. How does the Gita help in making unbiased and ethical decisions?
See, for running an organization, the management has to have or set certain strategies or things that are benefited both for the employee as well as the organization, right? So always stick to the decisions that are justifiable, and always you have to follow ethics, put your egos aside, give importance or things to what is correct. Always never or just give into what you see or what you hear. So that is well stated in Bhagavad Gita. So this Bhagavad Gita, obviously it gives you or tells you that you need clarity.
Yes, ma'am.
Always look into clarity. Always look into things point to point, pin to pin from the root level. That is clearly explained in Bhagavad Gita.
That was very clear perspective, ma'am. How can the principle of Bhagavad Gita, do your duty without attachment to results, be applied in organizations?
See, as an employee, what we expect, or as a manager, what you expect is you expect your team to work together and get good results, right?
Yes, ma'am.
But that's good. But always as a team lead or always as a manager, you should focus on what are the things that you need to do. Your duty is first. You are prioritizing your duty rather than the results. You have to set certain things that will help you in performing your duty well. So obviously, don't think about the results. Results will obviously come. But before you think about the results, always ensure that you are focused on what I am to do, as to what makes me do it correctly.
Yes.
So always put your 100% in whatever task is assigned to you. Okay? So always set some strategies. Always have a proper planning. Always stick to justice. Always stick to what is good. Always try to learn something that is more important or more useful for the employee. In return, obviously you'll get good results.
Yes.
So never focus on results. It is, you need to focus. I don't say that you shouldn't focus on results. You need to focus. But once you start putting your heart and soul in whatever duty you are assigned to, obviously the results will be to the extent you won't even expect. Sometimes there will be ups and downs. It doesn't mean that the way you have executed is wrong. There might be somewhere venting something that might have been wrong. So you have to think over, acha, this has happened. So I have to set certain things that will change me for getting good results.
Yes, ma'am. That's a valuable point, ma'am. What principles from the Gita can help prevent corruption in organizations?
See, Padma, any organization. Nowadays, you've seen many organizations that have been corrupted by the people in and out.
Yes.
And you have been, big organizations have been seeing their downfall because of the internal exploitation or because of the external sources, right? That can be because of several reasons. You don't have specific reasons for that. But coming to Bhagavad Gita, this Gita tells you about righteousness and this Gita tells you about dharma, right? Dharma in the sense you have to, at any cost, do or die, stick to what is correct. You're my friend. It doesn't mean that if you commit a mistake, I should just encourage you.
Yes.
You're not my friend. You commit some mistakes, I should just send you out. Always stick to dharma. Dharma is the key thing which keeps you on top. And one more thing I would like to focus is always go with leadership without ego. Because ego keeps you down. It starts making you think in a negative perspective.
Yes.
So once you have your egos, obviously when you're learning in your starting stage to a level of next, when you start achieving to your higher hierarchical value or hierarchy level, at one point of time as a human being, ego is common for everybody. But you should know as to how you need to balance all that. Because this is life, we are human beings, there are people who do mistakes but those mistakes should help you in correcting it. So from Gita, always ensure that you can learn dharma, leadership without ego. That is the key thing that can reduce corruption in an organization.
That's insightful, ma'am. What does the Gita say about controlling one's mind and how is it useful in management?
So Padma, if I'm not wrong, our mind is the place for entertainment, or it is the only thing that keeps on functioning from morning you get up till you sleep. Even in sleep also our mind keeps on, and it's the most restless thing, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So when your mind starts becoming restless, what happens is you have that fatigue, and you internally also you become very weak. So for this you need meditation.
Yes, so
Okay. So meditation is a key tool. Always try to keep your mind busy. It's good that you keep your mind busy, but it should be busy in such a way that always it gives you vibes that are positive. And obviously when you have that positive vibes, you look beautiful and you have a smile and you always have that energy, and there is something or some aura that spreads from you to the person who is next to you.
yes, well,
Yes. So I feel these are the things that I really inspired or I got to know about Bhagavad Gita, as always try to keep your mind cool, calm, don't be very anxious. And if you're having such issues, always go with meditation, do yoga, all these things that keep not only you healthy and beautiful, but also it spreads good to the others.
it was really informative, ma'am. Are there real life examples of organizations using Gita teachings?
Yes, Ma. In generally, we have seen a number of organizations that have been using Gita directly or indirectly in their managerial level or in executing an organization. As such, we have Wipro, we have Tata, and we have other organizations also, wherein which they always focus on ethical basis. They always have some standard operation protocols. They always look into the quality of the output. They always look into the benefit of the patients, and they always look from the employee perspective. And sometimes they take decisions that are like they give importance to equality, and they don't just they are give very keen decisions or that is benefited for the organization by the employee, right? So we have many organizations that have been already knowingly or unknowingly following Bhagavad Gita.
Yes.
And some places you can see some quotations also, wherein which once you read the quotes itself, it gives you a positivity in your mind
Exactly.
before you enter into also.
Wonderful examples, ma'am. Let's go into some rapid fire questions. Duty or results? What does the Gita emphasize?
Gita obviously emphasizes on duty.
Next, one habit managers should drop according to the Gita.
is myself, I would advise any manager to put their egos aside. You start developing ego, you don't look beautiful, the others you won't make them happy. Always put your egos aside if you really want to become a good manager.
Yes. Calm mind or quick reaction?
Obviously, calm mind.
Ethical leadership or authoritative leadership?
Ethical leadership.
Before we conclude, ma'am, if there is one teaching from the Bhagavad Gita that every manager or leader should start applying today, what would it be and why?
I would always suggest any individual is perform your duty without attachment to the results. That is called Nishkarma Karma
Yes.
in Bhagavad Gita.
Yes.
So this Nishkarma Karma is the key backbone for running any organization.
Yes, ma'am.
So always focus on the duty what I am or what you are, what they have to do. Rather be too attached for the results that we may get or may not. So I myself personally, I like to follow that. That is Nishkarma Karma is the key backbone of Bhagavad Gita. That is and plays a key role in implementation for the management.
Yes. Thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing your insights, your wisdom, and your experiences with us. To all our listeners, thank you for tuning into this episode of Centurion Pod Talk. We'll be back with more meaningful conversations. Until then, this is your host signing off.